Hey, it's so good to see your awesome smiling face. Hey, Connor and Rowan, I'm glad you guys are back. And I see Emma and Hazel and Penny, and I see Abby and Luke and Nate. It's so good to see you guys today. Thanks for coming. And thanks for anybody else I didn't name. I'm glad you're here. My name is Mrs. Karen, and I work at the Harvard Dickens Library. And I thought today we would play a little bit of a guessing game. Do you like to play guessing games? Good. I am thinking of an animal that is black and white. What animal do you think I'm thinking of? Hmm. I heard somebody say zebra. Very good. Could be a zebra. What's another black and white animal? Somebody said penguin. Very good. How about, did you say panda? Okay, very good. Those are three black and white animals I can think of. But let's see if you know which one of those three I'm thinking of. The animal I'm thinking of is black and white and lives someplace where it's very, very cold. And there are icebergs. And this little black and white animal tends to waddle. Are you guessing what it is now? Yeah. Did you say penguin? You are absolutely right. I'm thinking of a penguin, and we're going to read a penguin story today that's pretty silly. But first, let's talk about the word penguin, shall we? There's the word penguin right there, and it starts with this letter P. Now, let's see if you can look at this letter P. The lighting might not be very good, but can you tell what color that is? P is for the color purple, and this is a purple P. So, we've got a purple P that starts with the letter penguin, with the word penguin. There it is. And that purple P leads into my story today because this story is about a silly little penguin named Tacky. Tacky is kind of an odd bird, but as his friends will find out, he's a nice bird to have around. This is one of my favorite stories. It's called Tacky the Penguin, and it's written by Helen Lester, and it's illustrated by, or that means the pictures are drawn by Lynn Munsinger. And let's see what happens if you have a friend like Tacky. There is Tacky. Can you see what he's wearing? He's wearing a flowered shirt. Do we usually see penguins wearing flowered shirts? I didn't think so, but that's Tacky. There once lived a penguin. His home was a nice icy land he shared with his companions. Companions means his friends. His companions were named Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect. His name was Tacky. Tacky was an odd bird. Odd means he's a little bit different, but in a good way. Every day, Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect greeted each other quite quietly and politely. Look at them, they're shaking hands. They're probably saying, "Good morning, how are you?" Tacky greeted them with a hearty slap on the back and a loud, "What's happening?" That doesn't sound like the other penguins, does it? Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect always marched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tacky always marched 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, 0, 2.5, 0. His companions were graceful divers. Look at them diving into the water there. Tacky liked to do splashy cannonballs. Look at that. Can't you just hear the big splash when he hits the water? Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect always sang pretty songs like Sunrise on the Iceberg. Tacky always sang songs like How many toes does a fish have? Tacky was an odd bird. One day the penguins heard the thump, thump, thump of feet in the distance. This could mean only one thing. Hunters had come. Uh-oh. They came with maps and traps and rocks and locks, and they were rough and tough. As the thump, thump, thump drew closer, the penguins could hear the growly voices chanting, "We're gonna catch some pretty penguins, and we'll march 'em with a switch. and we'll sell 'em for $1 and get rich, rich, rich. Uh-oh, it looks like Tacky and his friends are in trouble, don't you think? See what they do. Goodly, lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect ran away in fright. They hid behind a block of ice. Tacky stood alone. The hunters marched right up to him, chanting, "We're gonna catch some pretty penguins, and we'll march 'em with the switch, and we'll sell 'em for $1 and get rich, rich, rich." "What's happening?" blared Tacky, giving one hunter an especially hearty slap on the back. They growled, "We're hunting for penguins. That's what's happening." "Penguins?" asked Tacky. "Do you mean those birds that march neatly in a row?" And he marched 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, 0, 2.5, 0. The hunters looked puzzled. "Is that the way a penguin marches?" "Do you mean those birds that dive so gracefully?" Tacky asked, and he did a splashy cannonball. The hunters looked wet. There he is, getting them all wet with his big splash. "Do you mean those birds that sing such pretty songs?" Tacky began to sing, and from behind the block of ice came the voices of his companions, all singing as loudly and dreadfully as they could. "How many toes does a fish have? And how many wings on a cow? I wonder, yup, I wonder." Does that sound like a penguin would sing? The hunters could not stand the horrible singing. This could not be the land of pretty penguins. They ran away with their hands clasped tightly over their ears, leaving behind their maps and traps and rocks and locks, and not looking at all rough and tough. Goodly, lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect hugged Tacky. Tacky was an odd bird, but a very nice bird to have around. And look at that. Is Tacky so odd after all? No, he's pretty awesome, even though he doesn't do things like the other penguins. He saved them from the hunters, didn't he? He's a nice bird to have around. I hope you liked that story. It's pretty silly, isn't it? I have another story to tell you, and we're going to see if you can practice some of your colors. How's that? This is a story about a little girl named Pippa and her Nana, who went to the zoo one day. They saw the elephants and the tigers and the fish and the snakes, and they saw the penguins. Pippa's favorite animal was the penguin. When Pippa and Nana got home, Nana said, "Pippa, would you like a penguin?" Pippa said, "Yes, Nana, I would love one." So Nana said, "Look, let me look in my fabric basket and see what I can find." So Nana looked and looked and looked, and she pulled out some fabric and said, "Pippa, would you like would you like a penguin that looks like this?" And Pippa said, "No, Nana, I don't want a blue penguin. Penguins are black and white." Is this the color blue? You bet. Nana said, "Well, let me keep looking in my fabric basket and see what I can find." Ooh, here's a very bright color. Would you like a penguin out of this color? What color is this? Yellow, very good. Pippa said, "No, no, no, Nana, that's a nice bright color, but I don't want a penguin out of yellow. Penguins are black and white." Nana looked once more and said, "Ooh, here's a pretty color, Pippa. I made you a dress out of this color. Would you like a penguin like this?" What color is this one? Red, very good. Pippa said, "No, no, no, Grandma, that's not a penguin color. Penguins are black and white. They're not red." Nana said, "Well, let me keep looking. Oh, I found the perfect color. How about this color?" What color is it? Can you tell? It's brown or tan. Pippa said, "No, no, no, Grandma. Brown is good if you want to make me a monkey, but I don't want a monkey. I want a penguin. So keep looking, Nana, and see what other colors you can find." Nana said, ooh, here's one. I think this is your favorite color, Pippa, isn't it? Can you tell what color this one is? Purple? Very good. Pippa loves purple, but she said, nope, 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 Nana. This is not a penguin color because penguins are black and white. Very good. Nana kept looking and she said, Pippa, I found this bright color. What color is that? Orange, very good. Or how about this bright color? Green. Or how about a penguin out of this color? Pink. Any of those work for Pippa's penguin? Pippa said, no, 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 Nana. I don't want pink or orange or green. Penguins are black and white. Grandma said, I think, Pippa, I'm going to have to go to the store and get some fabric for you. So that's exactly what Nana did. And when she came back, she had fabric to make a penguin for Pippa, which she did. When she got done with the penguin, she told Pippa to close her eyes. You can close your eyes. And she gave Pippa the penguin. And when Pippa opened her eyes, what did she see? Nana, thanks for making that penguin. It's black and white. And look at that. It's a black and white penguin, but it's got polka dots. But it's just like Pippa wanted, right? It's black and white. Isn't that silly? It's a black and white polka dot penguin. And penguin and polka dot start with our letter B. Now, I'll bet you can guess what we're going to make today. If you said penguin, you know what? I think you'd be right. But I'm going to show you our penguin because I think you'll find it's pretty cute. We're going to make a roly-poly penguin. Look at that penguin! He's sitting on an iceberg. That's probably, you can make him tacky and goodly and lovely. Any of those penguins from our story, right? I'm going to show you a list of supplies that you'll need to make our roly-poly penguins. And then I'll give you a minute. And when you come back, I'll show you how to make your roly-poly penguin. See you in a minute.
Oh, hi there. Are you ready to make your roly-poly penguin? Let me set mine aside and I'll show you how to make your roly-poly penguin now that you have all your supplies. If you have one of the craft kits from the library, then you have a paper plate that's been folded and cut into the shape of 1, 2, 3 different penguins. As you can see, I've started coloring mine. We're going to do that in just a minute, but let me show you how the bodies are laid out. At the top is kind of a circle shape, and that is the penguin's head. Underneath the circle shape is a bit of an oval shape, and that is the penguin's body. Now, on each penguin body, I've traced an oval shape that you're going to keep white because that's going to be the penguin's tummy. You should also have some penguin feet, some eyes, and some penguin noses. The first thing, though, we're going to do, as you noticed when you joined me, I was starting to color my penguin head and my bodies. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me color. That's not very exciting, but I'm going to show you what I did finish already because I finished coloring one set of penguins' bodies. Here's the penguins' heads, here's the penguins' bodies, and then I left their tummies plain white. Now, they look like penguins, but we have to give them some personality. That means they need some eyes, a nose, and some feet. The first thing we're going to do is to add some wiggly eyes. Each penguin will need 2 eyes, so I'm going to use my liquid glue and put 2 dots of glue on top of each head. And then I'm going to add the wiggly eyes. Maybe you can help me count the wiggly eyes as I add them. Are you ready? Here we go. Here's 1, then 2, and 3, Oops, that one doesn't want to stick very well, does it? There's 3. Then what comes after 3? Here comes 4 and 5 and 6. There are my penguin's eyes. Now, my penguins need some noses. So let's dab a little dot of glue underneath the eyes, and we're going to use the small triangles that came with your craft kit. So take one and put one on one dot of glue, take another one and put it on another dot of glue, and then take the last one, and there our penguins have some pretty fun personalities or fun faces. Now, our penguins need some feet. So let's set the penguin's body aside and let's pull out the feet. To attach the feet to the penguins' bodies, we're going to need to fold over the top flap or the top straight piece of each foot. So look for the straight piece of the penguin's foot and bend it over just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And we're going to do that on each of the penguin's feet. Now we have 3 penguins and they each have 2 feet, so we have 6 feet all total, all together. And one more. Just fold over a little bit, and then there are all the penguin feet ready to glue on the bodies. Now let's get our body back, and here is how we're going to glue on the feet. The first foot is we're going to pick up the first foot and put a little bit of glue on the part that we folded over. So just put a thin line of glue, and that is going to get stuck under the paper plate body by the first penguin. Kind of tap it down gently, then find the next penguin foot and do the same thing, a little bit of glue on the flap, and put it right next to that first foot that you glued on the penguin's body. And now the first penguin has 2 feet. Let's do the same thing for the next penguin. Put a little bit of glue on the foot flap, press it gently underneath the plate, and then get the next one. This is foot number 4 if you're counting with me. There we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have one more penguin that needs some feet. So let's put some glue on one of the penguin feet and put it right underneath that last penguin. And then one more. This is foot number 6. So let's put some glue on it and put it right underneath the penguin body. And there we go. Now each penguin has some feet. And when they're all dry, they're ready to do some rocking and rolling, just like our sample. There they go. Thanks for stopping by and making a penguin. It's pretty cute, isn't it?
Now that you have your roly-poly penguin, you can show it to your friends or your family. Have a lot of fun with it. Thanks for stopping by for story time today and reading our story with me and learning a little bit about the letter P and listening to our fun story about lots of colorful penguins. I'm so glad you're here today. Thanks for coming, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, I hope that you read lots of good stories and come and visit me at the library. I'd love to say hi to you in person. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time. Bye.